Welcome back to the next stage of adventures on my trip around the South Island. Now we've arrived to Twizel and we're going to begin our look at the fishing that I got up to. Now 3 days went by with not much result, so I don't have a whole lot of footage from fishing the canals as I barely caught anything as it was such tough fishing. But on the final day, I managed to hook into a few really good fish, so I'm just going to leave these clips for you here. After several days of searching, I found this nice spot that I could use my fly rod on. And after a lot of casting, I finally hooked up to my first big fish on the Twizel canals. For some context, I was on 6-pound trace and a 6-weight fly rod, and this fish was just killing me.
Stop, please. Stop. Oh, I'm so undergunned. Stop. Get a wind. He's so far in the backing. Get down and move him. I've worked my ass off for this. And my backing by a lot. Just gonna walk him down. Alright, starting to get under control.
Once I got in behind the fish and started to lead it downstream, I started to get a lot of my line back.
Just get him down here. I want the fly line back on the reel. Here it comes. Here's my fly line. Oh, good. Alright, we're somewhat safe. He's going to take it again, I think. Yeah. I'll get him out of the current. He's still there, I can feel him. By far the biggest fish this rod's ever had on it, I'm pretty sure.
After swimming up the next canal over, the fish turned around and decided it was heading for the power station. By this point, almost all my backing was gone and I had to clamp down.
Got absolutely creamed. He nearly had me to the back of the backing. Was he even in the... Nah, he was in the back. He wasn't even in the mouth. Scale.
After that heartbreak, I thought I wasn't going to hook another one, but about 3 casts later, I managed to get another hook up, and this time the fish was under a lot more control.
blast. It's not a big one. We just got creamed by a big one. That was probably double the size of this thing, but yeah, you don't get condition like that in many places in New Zealand.
After several days of hard fishing, it was finally time for me to land one of these fish. And this fish wasn't even a big one. At around 5 pound, it was a long way under the fish that grow upwards of 35 and 40 pound. My hard work into this spot was really paying off, as another hookup graced me soon after. After the last couple of fish taking me well into my backing, I was putting the hurt on this fish to really try and get it in fast.
Well, we got him. Nice big brown. Not big for here, but big for me. Probably about 8 pound. See how thick he is. Nice. Right, we can be happy with a couple of nice average rainbows, and that thing is much better. So biggest fish of the trip. I'm happy with that. We'll have a few more casts before we head off, but I think I'm happy with a brown of about 8 pound. Let's let it go.
During my travels throughout Twizel, I made a stop at a really cool spot. This would be much more successful fishing compared to the canals, and I immediately hooked a fish as soon as I got there.
There we go. This is cool fishing in here. That's a big fish. He's about to go. It's a rainbow, is it? Here comes another fish. Brown or rainbow going past? Oh no, it's brown. Pretty fish. He was cruising shallows. There we go. That's a long fish. There you go. That green fly did the trick again.
Since I was fishing with no indicator, it would be a case of guessing when the fish would take the fly. And in this case, I wasn't quite right in my guess. That bite, on the other hand, was as clear as day, and I struck into this fish well.
Into the backing. You come off?
Unfortunately, after that screaming run all the way into my backing, the fish popped off. With a slight tailwind, this was perfect conditions for hunting the flats. That little ripple on the surface really hides the fly line and the leader, and as you can see, there are plenty of fish hunting along this bank. That was a shocking cast though. Further out into the lake, it got quite rocky and even shallower, but this would just make it easier to see where all the fish were sitting.
Here's one. Took a look at me and didn't like it and is now heading for the horizon.
After that huge run, I gained a bit of line back and had the fish in view.
Oh yeah, the fish. Flats is so much fun.
From time to time, huge gusts of wind would come up behind me, but this wasn't a problem as casting was even easier with the winds sending the line out even further. This one was quickly dehooked before I got a look at an almost sea run looking brown trout. Look at those spots.
There you go.
After that quick look, we sent her on her way. There was now some serious wind coming through across this flat, but it was just good enough that I could still see fish cruising. So I kept casting to hopefully get another fish. With the wind easing slightly, I spotted a fish off in the distance and made a cast. I slowly worked the fly away from it before giving it a little pause. Throughout this trip, that little pause had really made the difference on a lot of these picky fish.
Oh, lovely fish. Some cover. You better be careful or I'll net him. There he goes. It's the perfect wind direction for doing this. And it's disguising the cast well. If I kick up a bit of dust, you won't see it coming. Oh, almost in. Yep.
More strong gusts of wind battered me as I unhooked this beautifully fat brown with unique markings from all the other fish today. This one was getting up there in size, heading in the direction of 4 to 5 pound. A really good one to get on the board. As I made my way back towards where I'd come in, I was heading upwind and there were fish cruising ahead of me.
Eat it. Oh, what a dick. He swam all over it.
That one had come 15 metres and not even taken the fly, so I made another cast to see if he might take it on the drop.
Yep, he wanted it. He wanted it dead still. Wasn't gonna refuse it the second time. Now is he gonna head for that log? It looks like it's where he's going.
This one was a true acrobat, jumping out of the water several times and putting on a great display. Several minutes of chasing down later in this blustery wind, I caught up with him.
Nice. Oh, that'd be even better. Best brown of the trip.
And with that, I'd secured another lovely brown trout from the flats. Quite a long and slender fish, but still a lovely one all the same. Following on from this, I'd find a huge bunch of fish feeding on this tiny little bit of the flat. Here is a montage of some of the carnage.
Scare them. A rainbow. Another brown. Smaller fish. Nice. Alright, there you go. Next fish. Right, well, we have a low on the wind. That was a pretty insane session. Just fish after fish. And, well, they're still there. There's shitloads of them still around. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to start heading back towards the canals. I've got to try and get the salmon. So, yeah, let's get going over there. I've got a few different spots I need to probably have another crack at. It's going to be tough in this wind, but we're going to have to make do. I've got the rest of today into the night probably after some dinner, and then yeah, probably not too early tomorrow morning because it hasn't really made much of a difference, to be honest, in the last few days. Yeah, and we'll do that morning and then we're off down the coast.